Do you know how to master the OODA loop for a greener future? As the climate crisis escalates, the urgency to respond effectively has never been more critical. The world is grappling with unprecedented environmental changes. Extreme weather events, melting ice caps, and rising sea levels are no longer distant threats, they are today's reality. In this episode, I ask you to consider, what if we could apply a powerful decision-making framework originally designed for military strategy to navigate these turbulent times? Enter the OODA loop, a tool that can help us make swift, informed, and strategic decisions to combat climate change. The OODA loop is a decision-making model developed by U.S. Air Force Colonel John Boyd in the 1950s. OODA stands for Observe, Orient, Decide, and Act, and the model is aimed at promoting rapid and effective responses in high-pressure situations. Initially used in aerial combat, the OODA loop has since been applied to various fields, including business, law enforcement, cybersecurity, and management education. Boyd's insight was simple yet profound: in any conflict, the side that can cycle through the OODA loop faster will gain the upper hand. This speed and adaptability are crucial in an environment of uncertainty and rapid change conditions that mirror today's climate crisis. So how can we leverage this framework to tackle the biggest challenge of our time, applying the OODA loop to climate action? Observe. The first step is to gather as much information as possible about the current state of the environment. This involves monitoring weather patterns, understanding the impact of human activities on ecosystems, and recognizing signs of climate stress, such as declining biodiversity and increased greenhouse gas emissions. Observing the realities of our changing climate allows us to acknowledge the crisis's scope and urgency. Orient. Next, we must orient ourselves by analyzing this information to create a clear, comprehensive picture of the problem. This step involves understanding the interconnectedness of different environmental factors and how they affect one another. For example, deforestation contributes to carbon emissions, which in turn accelerate global warming. By orienting ourselves in this way, we can identify key leverage points where targeted actions could have the most significant impact. Decide. Based on our observations and orientation, we must then decide on a course of action. This could mean choosing to invest in renewable energy, implementing sustainable agricultural practices, or reducing carbon footprints at individual and organizational levels. The key here is to make decisions swiftly with a commitment to adaptability. Just as in combat, we must be prepared to reassess and change course as new information emerges. Act. Finally, we must act on our decisions, putting plans into motion with urgency and determination. Whether it's advocating for policy changes, adopting eco-friendly products, or supporting green technologies, every action counts. The faster and more decisively we act, the more we can mitigate the worst effects of climate change. Incorporating eco-friendly products into our actions is a practical and immediate way to contribute to environmental protection. One critical area is the use of encasement with the right green coatings. These products not only help to reduce the environmental impact of buildings, but also offer a sustainable solution for preserving infrastructure. The right green coatings protect surfaces long-term from environmental degradation, while they minimize the release of harmful chemicals into the air. When we choose the right long-lasting green coatings with 20-year renewable service cycles, we're not just protecting buildings, we're actively participating in the fight against climate change. The right green coatings are solar reflective and can create indoor passive cooling while reflecting heat away from surfaces, and reduce energy consumption by improving insulation, sealing leaks that allow energy loss, thereby cutting down on the use of heating and cooling systems. They also play a crucial role in reducing emissions, being water-based, non-toxic, biodegradable, with zero to low VOCs, supporting healthier environments for people and the planet alike. To sum it up, applying the OODA loop to climate action reminds us that we must be both strategic and swift in our response to the crisis. Observing our environment, orienting ourselves with the facts, making informed decisions, and acting swiftly are all essential steps to combat climate change effectively. By integrating these principles with the use of eco-friendly products like the right long-term green coatings, we can protect not only our buildings but also the future of our planet. As we navigate these challenging times, the OODA loop offers a powerful framework to guide our actions. Let's use it to outthink and outmaneuver the climate crisis, one decision at a time. Remember, every choice we make today impacts our tomorrow. Let's make those choices count. You may like this quote from Chinese proverb: "If we do not change direction, we are likely to end up where we are headed." What are your questions about this episode? We are always here to help and excited to answer them. Thank you for listening, and see you on my next episode.